I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love
it. Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today. And Miles, if you're out there, we can hear your heartbeat still, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
It's still going after that game.
Going crazy.
Dead silent.
Damn. For those of you that have listened before, you know he's a diehard Rams fan, and he had to be having a heart attack, especially at the end of that game. It got crazy. Holy cow.
Oh, up to one moment, he felt like it was in the bag. Because I thought
that right in the bag, and then all of a sudden, shit.
20 was it like 27-3 at one point?
24-3.
24-3.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Insane. You can never count Tommy B out. But we'll get to that. I do want to give a special shout out to our birthday boy today, Rio. Finally 25 years old. How's it feel?
What's up?
You can rent a car now, bro.
Yeah, get that car insurance down.
Yeah.
No, how old are you, Rio?
The big 29. I got one more good year.
Yeah, that's a damn truth, too, man.
Yeah.
One more good year. Then it's all downhill, bro.
It's all downhill.
No doubt. Well, that's all right, man. 29's not a bad year. You're still living in your prime. So we're going to, talk through the games, obviously, this weekend. Every game so far has been decided by a field goal.
Yeah.
How insane is that?
Yeah, that is crazy. That means some damn good football, too, right?
Right.
That's exactly what you want in divisional. You will hopefully it ends up that way, conference play, too. But, yeah, field goal every time? Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll take that as viewers. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm. You know it.
So, Jimmer, let's kick it off, baby. News and notes.
All right. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors hire their former record-breaking quarterback, Timmy Chang, as their next head coach. Chang arrives at an uneven time for the Rainbow Warriors, as former coach Todd Graham resigned earlier this month in the wake of allegations that he mistreated players. He was the wide receiver coach at Colorado State last year.
Good for them. And bringing in somebody, a former player, I think that's always awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
good to
100%.
see.
Yep, good move.
Boom, boom. This one, here we go. Bulls guard Alex Caruso will have surgery for his fractured wrist and will be out 6 to 8 weeks. Caruso suffered the injury during the Bulls' loss to the Bucks on Friday night in Milwaukee, where he was fouled hard by Bucks Grayson Allen, who was assessed a flagrant 2 foul and ejected from the game. Danny, you actually got to see this. What are your thoughts on our man, Grayson Allen?
Yeah, first I'll explain what happened, right? So Caruso's coming down. He's going to get a layup or a dunk. He's up in the air, and Grayson decides to grab him basically on the other shoulder because he can't get the ball, twists him around while they're in the air. This man is dirty. He's proven he's been dirty forever. It was awful, and I feel bad for Caruso since he's going to be out. But here's my thought on this, okay? When you have guys like Grayson Allen who are proven dirty players, he's out for 6 to 8 weeks, you said? Mm-hmm. Grayson needs to be out for 6 to 8 weeks at least, too, right?
Unpaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. That was, awful.
First off, he's shown this in his history. This isn't like he was trying to, it was just a hard foul or he's trying to stop this, that, and the other. This literally goes throughout his whole history of playing basketball, at least from college. I mean, I assume he ain't just developing in college either, by the way. I'm sure he was kind of like that in high school, too.
Exactly.
So,
what do you think, Rio?
Yeah, you talk about it being in his history, and I don't know if 6 to 8 weeks, but maybe half that, definitely unpaid, to make him think about it. He's shown again and again that he'll go up, and it's not just hard fouls, it's dirty fouls when it's not needed.
Right. You know how actually the statement could be or should be? That'd be like the NBA putting their foot in and saying, all right, we're going to stop this. How you actually set the example is the Bucks need to cut him, and then nobody pick him up. That isn't what you should be instilling in your team. This isn't like a rough tumble play where you're sitting there trying to bang it out and getting these loose balls or something like that, and maybe you get a little chippy. No, you literally took a guy out for 6 to 8 weeks, broken wrist, because that's a style player player that you are.
Yeah, just think about that. I mean, there are situations Grayson's tapped people in the nuts and done dumb shit. Like, okay.
Tripped him when he's down on the ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is, you're in the air, man.
Yes.
And that's
Could've
why he
been
ended up
worse.
breaking his wrist. He's trying to land all twisted up.
Yeah. Could have been even worse than that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. 1,000%. I have a feeling that Danny may go off on this one a little bit. China is spending $300,000 to get U.S. influencers to share positive social media posts to boost the country's image ahead of the 2022 Winter Olympics. First off, before I do let you go on this, I think $300,000 is pretty goddamn low, actually. I think like startup companies throw more at it than that if they got it. You know, that's how you get shit up off the ground, right? But still, like throwing, why are you doing it? And this is where I'll pass her over to you there, Danny G.
Yeah, so not necessarily sports related. So that's not a surprise, right? They do that stuff. If you live in China and you say something against the government, you're disappeared, right? Magically, we see you again after a couple weeks and everything's great. You love it there, right? I kind of picture like movie style where they hypnotize you. They
brainwashing in the mountains type shit.
Yeah, they duct tape you to the chair and they, tape your eyes open so you got to watch this stuff.
Probably more physical than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be intense when they come out and they're like, yeah, everything's great. I love it here. But I mean, even beyond that, there's if you guys look into this at all, like I think China is the scariest country in the world to us, simply because of what they're doing. So there's a lot of, you can even look at, if we're talking sports related, LeBron James, right? Is he ever willing to say anything negative against China?
No, sir.
Right. And we saw John Cena with the whole Fast and the Furious movie, right? Or I think that was the one, right? It wasn't the Fast and the Furious, whichever movie it was. But then even at a higher level, there's like major billionaire investment people that will go over to China, and now they're encouraging people to invest in Chinese shit, right? To make money. They just think it's better over there because the government's in control of everything, so there's a more likelihood that success is going to happen, right? So it's happening at a bigger scale. This is, I mean, it's newsworthy. Like you said, it's not a lot of money, but I think this just gives you a picture to show like what they're trying to do is make everybody see, oh, look, we're great. Everything's good over here. And it's obviously not, right? So I think it's just, if there's a country that we should be worried about, or we got to think about for the future, it's them. And they're buying off a lot of us and a lot of our influencers, if you will.
Yep.
Michael Scott talked about this once.
Yes.
In The Office. Everything China. Just comes in and they're just taking over, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to branch too much onto it. Because it gets into a different, hairier version of our personal beliefs, especially the government side of it. So,
are you a conspiracy theorist, Jimmer?
You know what?
How dare you?
Here's one thing I will say. Okay, so I don't know if it could be considered conspiracy theorist when it's fucking right. Can it really be conspiracy theory when the stuff is correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Do we all believe at this table that there is intelligent life out in the universe?
Yeah, definitely.
And that at some point in the human race, that it has landed here, crash landed, or whatever, that it has been on the planet Earth at one point, at least once.
Oh yeah.
So is that a conspiracy theory then, or is that just because we don't have we get to go do a walkthrough tour
of like Area 51 or something, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean it's not true.
Right.
It just means actually government usually tries to shut down thought processes like that. So don't feed me. Don't feed me.
We'll feed you, baby bird.
Get under
Let's
here.
go.
Forgot to put this on Fridays. An independent arbitrator has ruled that UConn improperly fired former men's basketball coach Kevin Ollie and must pay him more than $11 million, Ollie's lawyer said Thursday. Mark Irving's ruled, that's the arbitrator, ruled that Ollie is due $11,157,032.95.
Damn,
and
down to the penny. Shoot.
And to be paid within 10 business days.
Get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cool, good. That's good. That actually makes me. I know I'm going sidetrack a little bit, but that makes me think about that Michigan thing you guys talked about the other day when I was gone. Did you actually break the numbers down on what that means for the people in Michigan? Those 1,000 people.
We didn't break down exactly how much they would get, but yeah. Well, kind of touched on it a little bit.
I thought about that the other day, and I was like, I'm literally listening, and I'm like, I get on my phone, and I'm like, what does that mean? What that means for those people, those 1,000 people, is they get about $12,000 a year for 40 years. That's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's it for those 1,000 people. Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah. Do the math.
That's per month.
Because it's 40 years. You said, right?
Oh, I don't know about the years.
You said 4 decades, so I assume.
Oh, no.
that
It was
was
over
his.
4 years.
Yeah.
Over 40 years.
Oh,
like the
40.
sexual abuse stuff was happening over 40 years.
Then I misunderstood. Then never
Yeah.
mind. That not related at all. But
No.
yeah, I thought you said over 4 decades, and I'm like, oh my god, they're not getting anything. Like that's.
Well, we'll take
okay.
1 second and listen to this part though. I didn't even think about this like when we brought that part up. What is one of the dirtiest, most rundown cities in the United States of America? Where's the one city you probably wouldn't want to go to? Detroit. And the state just gave up $400 million of money that they obviously didn't really have, because if they did, Detroit would look a little more cleaned up, would it not?
You'd think so.
You would think so, at least. I mean, that's the thought process. So
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
over $400 million, and I just thought that was nuts, especially with a city like that. The range of cities that are complete shitholes because of money not coming through, probably be Baltimore, St. Louis.
Yeah, when you think about cities like Detroit, it's almost like a third world country. So like in those countries, there's like super wealthy people. And then poor people. There's no in between.
There's
right?
no tweeners.
Yeah. So you go to Detroit and you're like, there's a nice area. It's a business area, right? Downtown, big buildings, stuff like that. That still exists.
You've been there,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Yep. And then you go just outside of that, and it's a different situation, man. You think about all the kind of warehouse areas that are just terrible now. All of the community areas. I shouldn't say all. A lot of them are rough, right? I even, for one of my business trips, I even went and stayed in a hotel in Detroit. This was last year, and I thought I was in a pretty good spot. I was wrong, okay? Let me just tell you that.
You were wrong.
Let me just tell you that. So I went in there. There was a coworker of mine. We went to get food, like, next door to this hotel. I mean, just bars on the windows, and we walked in, and we were like, okay, we're in a different area than we thought, but it's all over the place. Even another person I work with, she got in the hotel, which was not a bad hotel, and it just didn't smell right when she got on the elevator, right? It was pretty strong smell. So it's like, it's,
well, what would it smell like? Skunk, maybe?
Maybe. There might have been a lot of
skunky?
that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just one of those spots.
Can't
That's
skunk
like,
traveling around? What the hell?
yeah.
Over $400 million because you obviously let this go for 4 decades.
Yeah.
You can do that, but you don't need clean water in Flint, right? They still don't have clean water.
Exactly.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So there's that, and then you
Yeah.
also have Detroit, and it's like you don't have the money anyways. And if you did have the money, God, how are you not taking care of two of your bigger cities? You know, one, you're like poisoning your people.
Right. Yeah. That, and that the thing about clean up cities and stuff, and this is on a bigger scale, but the United States is always worried about sending money over to help other countries, but we can't help clean the water in Flint. We can't, pick up cities and help our own. It's just mind-boggling.
My homeless veterans, homeless people everywhere that you can't. Yeah, I agree with you. We can send it over and help other people out, though.
Yep.
Let's not go. You see, rabbit holes.
Yeah, you're right. You
rabbit.
were right. What
It's
was
not.
that?
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Gonzaga suspends Hall of Famer John Stockton's men's basketball tickets for a failure to follow COVID-19 mask mandate. Stockton's number 12 jersey is retired, hanging up in their rafters.
Yeah, it's a shame it's come to this, the whole COVID deal. So it's not a good deal.
It depends on what they mean by he failed to follow the protocol. Like, should you have to wear a mask? I don't think so anymore. But that aside, like, did he have his nose out so he could breathe some cooler air instead of breathing that heat, right?
Or just not being masked at all.
Yeah. So it kind of depends on how crazy. Like, did he just, fight him to the death, and then they're like, listen, we're just not doing this anymore. Whatever. So even flying back home this past week. You've got to wear a mask in the airport, on the airplane, in the next airport, and so on, right? I was almost asleep on the airplane, and so my mask started to kind of fall down under my nose, and I got like tapped to pull my mask up over my nose, right? So that's what I mean. Like, it depends. Like, if it was something like that, like, come on, like, let's fucking be real. But in reality, it probably doesn't matter either way. But some of that shit gets intense. Man.
I think you go two different ways on this, and one is the one what you're saying, and maybe it is. I didn't see exactly.
Yeah.
But you could also say, you know what? You could go the route of kudos to Gonzaga that you're holding the standard. If that's the standard for everyone that has to come in there, then kudos to you, I guess, because you're holding it to everybody, no matter what your name is.
Yeah. That's true, too.
Which is also kind of a big deal. Like we talk about it, like workplaces that make certain people test, other people not. Some people wear masks, other people's not. Just if this is the case and this is what it's supposed to be, and at least they're holding everybody, I guess you could think of it in a positive way. So
yeah, for sure.
Jacob Panetta was released by the ECHL team Jacksonville Icemen following suspension by league for racist taunt at South Carolina Stingrays Jordan Subban, who is the younger brother of New Jersey Devils defenseman PK Subban. Now, evidently, read this a little bit. Evidently, during the game, it was a really close game. Battling back and forth. There were some hits going on, all that kind of stuff, like normal hockey. Got chippy. Jordan was trying to fight that guy right there, this Jacob Panetta, and he was like backing away from it, like, kind of bitching out of it. When Jordan goes to turn around, that dude starts mocking him, doing the monkey symbol. Ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah. Yeah, going like that. So Jordan turns around, goes at, and then whoops his ass.
Good for him, yeah.
And then puts it on, obviously, Twitter, because you're not going to see anything in this lower stuff like that,
Yeah.
Nationwide or anything like that. So he puts it up on Twitter like that too, and yeah, that's where we're at.
That's fucked up.
It is.
Yeah, that kind of stuff shouldn't be tolerated.
Not in any way, shape, or form. I hope I didn't get to see the replay of the fight or anything like that, but I hope he beat the living shit out of it.
Hey, here's the deal.
You know, that's your punishment
You're in the right
for being
sport, right?
Yeah.
You're in the right sport. Drop the gloves. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, honestly, they say you have the right to say whatever you'd like, right? The freedom of speech. Doesn't mean, and you should have that. That's what we're built on. Great. Doesn't mean it can't come without consequence.
Yeah.
You go up to someone and say something stupid or mock or get racial with them. Technically, you're allowed to say what you want, but doesn't mean that you're not going to get punched in the mouth for what you're saying.
Right.
Yep, 100%.
Right? So,
and of course, that's the world these days, man. People are so used to being able to put whatever on social media and can say anything, and there's no repercussions. And but
I'm pretty sure that started with video games, right? Online video games. You kind of get away to say whatever you want,
Have to, right? Live in your mom's basement.
Jay and Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob.
There
right? They track everybody down.
Yeah. Are you so and so? Did you say that we can suck each other's? Oh, so good. Excuse me. Chiefs Tyreek Hill has been fined $12,875 for celebrating his touchdown with pom-poms during their win over the Steelers.
Chump change.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make a dent.
Chump change. Also, who actually pays that for Tyreek? Does he pay it, or do you think the Chiefs pay it?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's all
Yeah.
I'm always curious about that. Like so supposedly this money, whenever there's fines and stuff, get thrown into a pool and it gets thrown back to like charities and stuff like that at the end of the year. And or was there something I read? I could be misinformed on that. I thought it was that, but maybe it was also it gets pumped into their medical, like ex-player medical.
Okay. I would just do it all the time then to help those guys out. I guess,
right, just being a nice guy.
Yeah.
But I've always wondered if they actually do. Like, hold on, you know what? You just filled my stadium. You're highly entertaining. We got this one.
Well, I just think about that because back when they started the whole like if you had defenseless receiver, right? I think it was the Ravens. Like back, it might have been like an Ed Reed situation or something, where he smoked a guy and totally turned the game around, and they end up winning. I think it was the Ravens. I could be wrong. Fact check me if you're listening. But where the team's like, he's not going to have to worry about that anyway. We're going to take care of that for him. So
I do remember
Yeah.
something coming out like that.
So I wonder how often the teams are like, listen, we got it. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that one. We'll call it a little bonus.
That's entertaining,
little
right?
win-
If
a
you're a
little win
fan, you
bonus.
want to see stuff like that, don't you?
Right. Pom-poms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Have him throw that skirt on, too. Let's see him get real crazy.
Wait, what?
Let's see him get real crazy. Like, let's see what we got. I was checking that Chiefs Bills. That's still 14-14. Start of the third quarter, gentlemen.
All right, we're past halftime. Let's go. Let's
Yep.
go, Bills.
Let's
go. Francis Ngannou unifies the UFC heavyweight title with a unanimous decision over a serial gain, despite dealing with a knee injury, which must have been where the line swap happened. He
ACL tear apparently is what Ngannou said
Oh.
after. He said he tore his ACL before the fight.
Oh, I thought it was MCL.
It could have been MCL. Yeah, okay. It
One-
could have
I
been,
think it was MCL.
It
one
could've
of
been
the one of the
MCL.
CLs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a knee situation, right?
Knee
He said he
situation.
tore it
Right, yep.
before, but
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So that's exactly the reason why that line swung that way. Then, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went to his wrestling and Brazilian jiu-jitsu to gut out a close victory. John Jones tweets afterwards that at the end of the day, I'm fucking them both up.
Let's remember John Jones. You come back and fought over at St. Preux after your long layoff and look like crap.
Yes.
So for this guy to be having an injury, some time off, chill out. Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying I like John Jones. I think he's a GOAT, right? And I think he'd do well in the fight in the heavyweight, division. But like, chill out.
Like Francis
Yeah.
Ngannou is not a chump. In other
Right.
words,
And he also walks around easy 30 pounds heavier than you. So relax.
Yeah.
like his comfortable weight, like
Yeah.
that's without him even trying. That man.
Yeah, I love John Jones. And if he could get a couple fights in heavyweight before he did something like that,
Yeah.
that's a different story. But he's not going to try to do that, right? He's going to
Right.
try to jump in and fight Francis. If the money, all that stuff, right? If it
Yeah, all
happened,
adds up,
it's
yeah.
got to be a magic thing. But
You
not
don't-
just jumping in to fight and got
You don't think
no.
they would have him with at least? And I say this very lightheartedly. They wouldn't throw him in a tune-up one first against Gain, for instance, before he gets a.
It's a hell of a tune-up, but
It is
maybe-
one hell. That's what I say. Very
Right.
lightheartedly. I get that.
yeah.
They could make him go against the number one contender.
Who's that now? Probably Stipe? I wonder.
I don't know.
Old boy
yeah.
only has one loss, right? Serial.
It would just have to depend on where they see him, and this was a close fight, so he could still be number one contender. I don't
Yeah.
know. Interesting to see what it looks like after this.
So we didn't watch the fight last night. We had a friend of mess. We had a bunch of stuff going on.
Yep.
But I did, like, as the fight was going on, I was watching the highlights, kind of, okay, end of first round, end of second. I did not expect Ngannou to go as long as he did. Usually it's a first round knockout for him, right?
Yep.
Because all he has to do is touch you, and that's a wrap.
Yep.
That man is so
Right.
powerful.
Yep.
So once it got that late, I'm like, oh,
You got
this
a
is
little
not
worried
good
a
for
little
you.
bit, right?
Yeah.
5 rounds.
Yeah. And then, I don't know if you saw the video, he straight up slammed him to the ground, like body slam, basically, serial gain to the ground. Like, that's not something you've ever seen from him. And then he was on top, and he showed a little wrestling. He showed something different.
Well, he's gonna have to with like the likes of Stipe
Has
out there,
to, right?
John Jones
Yeah.
potentially coming up. You're gonna have to add to your wrestling base of some kind in your grappling because those guys will take you down, and so
don't know.
to be able to show that is
That's what
is
I'm
good.
saying.
Unless that
Yeah, we've
man
never
stumbles,
seen it
though,
before.
Like you guys know, I'm a huge John Jones as a fighter guy, not his own personal life and how he keeps fucking up. But
You don't like that he beats his wife?
no, hell no.
Oh,
no.
okay. Just checking.
Yeah, not that one. But I'm talking about even everything that he's went through and all that stuff. But as a fighter, he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. Right? I still believe unless Ngannou were to slip up himself, like literally trip, John Jones is not taking that big ass man down. I don't care what. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I've watched Jones fight the last, I think, at least 4 fights. They have not looked very impressive. Any one of them, really. I mean, he did look against Cormier. He kind of dominated that, but you're going up there against this type of mountain of a man. I definitely want to see it going to the ground because he's not going to be able to take him to the ground unless Ngannou slips and falls himself.
Just keep in mind, when he's fought the last, I don't know, what, Rio, 10 fucking years, he's been the champion. So he doesn't have to go at you You know, he's like waiting for them to come at him, and then he defends, and he's just got to eke it out.
Right. But this one he'd have to go get that belt, though,
That's
right?
exactly right.
And that isn't his style.
In his very first fight in the UFC, he straight up, Cheeto, who the fuck was that? He straight up ran at him, and I think it was like a knee to the head. Very first thing he did in the octagon. It was insane. Nobody expected it, and then he fucked him up, and then here we are, right? He's possibly the GOAT. Yep. I think we all have kind of that opinion, right? So I don't know. It depends, because when you put on that much weight, it affects your wrestling. It affects all of the ground stuff. It affects your endurance. So we'll see. But if he can maintain what he's done at light heavyweight, that'll be an awesome fight if it happened.
Yeah.
If it happened.
And there's the other side of that, too. That's the Francis part with he claims he's not going to fight after this.
Yeah, he
right?
wants to go get paid. I don't blame him.
He wants his money.
Yeah.
He's already hitting up Tyson Fury.
And Fury's all about it.
Yeah. So, Figueiredo reclaimed the 125-pound title. He lost to Moreno in August by defeating his rival in a unanimous decision. All three judges scored the flyweight title fight in favor of Figueiredo, 48-47. Saturday's result brings the rivalry to an even 1-1-1.
You know, it only gets tougher from here. The more you fight guys and start to realize what they're good at, you know, the things they do well, it makes it tougher. Yeah, I coach wrestling, and the guys are always like, well, I can't do this and this and this against, you know, in the room. And it's like, well, yeah, but y'all are practice partners. You go against each other every day. You go against people that many times, you're going to learn what they're good at and be able to shut it down. Same thing, them with you. And so then it becomes a real, you know, stalemated fight. And I think this is just what's going to happen again, you know.
So you see it going the next time, because it's going to happen again, right? That
you
it's going to
think so.
It's going to be 1-1
class,
and 2 then,
right? I think so too. Yeah.
Yep. I'm tired of the underdog narrative. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow said after the game, "We're a really, really good team. We're here to make noise." This comes after a game-winning 52-yard field goal by kicker Evan McPherson as time expired with the final score 19-16.
Real quick, go back. I wanted to pull those stats that I was telling. So, Babyface Assassin, 106 total strikes to 95 on Figueiredo. 105 significant strikes for Moreno. 86 for Figueiredo.
Does that show takedowns or anything?
It does. Takedowns, 1 for Moreno and 2 for David Figueiredo. 2 minutes of ground control for Figueiredo, 46 seconds for Moreno.
So they gave it that big a boost.
That must have been, yeah.
Yeah, it just had to be, because the
just logic,
going
right?
off the strikes. Yeah, he's down.
Yeah.
And then of course the knockdown. So.
Okay.
Yep, and upsetting them their Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. Called it. Go Bengals.
Yeah,
They
take
get this one right.
your win, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I thought about this after the show on Friday, and it didn't dawn on me at that point, because I told you this was probably the hardest one I had to pick, was the Bengals and Titans, right?
Agreed.
For me,
Agreed.
it was the toughest
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was tough.
And what I should have thought about, and I thought about it afterwards, was I don't think Tennessee is the team that is built to actually have a bye. They're the team that needs to keep rolling.
Momentum. Yeah.
They need momentum. They need that going, because, and they did. They actually went away from the run. They were chewing them up. Your boy Deontay he had a couple of huge ass runs in that. Derrick Henry didn't look quite like himself, but he still got himself a touchdown up in there too. And whenever I don't know, for whatever reason, they felt they had to put the ball in.
Yeah, I said that
in Tannehill's hands.
Right. If you're counting on Ryan Tannehill to throw the ball and throw you to keep up in a game, not a good thing. You know, and that's why I was giving the nod to the Bengals offense. I was like, well, if they could score a lot and make this a shootout, I don't think the Bengals could keep up, because you don't want Ryan Tannehill having to keep you up. The Titans are built to grind you down, you know, run the ball with Derrick Henry, and they do have a stud receiver, but, you know, in chunk plays, but they're meant to grind you down. That's kind of football they play. And awesome game, though.
What also gets him the stats and he is a stud receiver, but what also gets him that play action, because they're run, shoving it down your throat, and all of a sudden over the top to this, you know, one hell of a spectacular receiver. You know, that's what their game plan is based off of. But I didn't think about that until after. I didn't think about this is not a team that should have wanted a bye, actually. You want it for the health, yes. I don't think old boy would be able to played the week before that, but
Yeah.
I think they were kind of rolling and they were doing better when they could have gotten themselves ahead of steam that way.
Yeah, I think so this is one of 2 games this weekend where the quarterback cost them the game.
Mm-hmm.
Tannehill obviously did 3 interceptions. You can't do that. That defense was playing fine.
Yeah.
Since he didn't blow you up.
One
right?
of them was huge, like inside. Wasn't that inside the 30? Like their own 30. They were looking like they were going to score and at least bare minimum get a field goal.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
The defense was playing great. It was interesting. I think the big thing that I took away from this game was I think Cincy is taking on Joe Burrow's personality. So Burrow is so chill. You listen to him after the games, he's like, well, whatever. Like even the whole, I think this underdog narrative is bullshit. Even that, he's like, you know how he talks, like,
and he's like, because that's it. Like you're saying, that's his personality. His personality is nobody's better than us. I believe I'm the best in the world. And he doesn't say it like pounding his chest, King Kong style or anything, but he's just like, I believe we can swing with anybody, and that offense can, right? We believe that for sure. So if this defense shows up like this, man, they have one hell of a test for whoever Bills or Chiefs, the winner of this game. I do need to tell you one thing. I don't know if you saw this. Joe Burrow said this in his press conference.
I'm with you.
Evan McPherson is going to walk out to attempt the 52-yarder. He's doing a stretch in his leg swing. He's like, well, he looks back at the boys and he's like, well, it looks like we're going to the AFC Championship game today, gentlemen.
That's exactly where I was going. That's a Joe Burrow thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he takes a swing with his leg, and he's like, well, looks like we're making it to the AFC Championship. Like, holy shit, man. And he nailed it. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, just gives no shits, and I love it.
I love it. You know what? That was one game I'm happy I was wrong about.
Yeah,
I like the Bengals. I like Joe. I like the team,
I just thought they weren't ready yet. That's all I was going by. I have nothing against the team at all, and I love Joe Burrow is probably one of those guys that's going to rub some people the wrong way because of that. I'm one of those guys that I like it.
Yep.
So
you know what was interesting?
And he likes his guys. He defends his boys. You know.
You know what's interesting about this? When you think about stat lines going into this game, Joe Burrow was sacked the second most times in the NFL this year. Tannehill was sacked the most.
and
it
was ugly, right?
And it was ugly for him.
It was an ugly game.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
Yeah.
This sends the Bengals to their first AFC Championship game since 1988.
Let's go, boys.
Big time.
Here we go. I don't know if they, and I shouldn't doubt them, like we were just saying, but I don't know if they have enough against either one of these two that they're about to run into. Maybe they swing with them.
If I'm putting it out there, I would give them a better chance against the Chiefs than the Bills.
Okay.
Just off the cuff.
Okay.
Right now, that's what I would.
If I was, I think the Bills and Chiefs are so like. I think it's even looking like that score wise.
It was 14-14.
It's so equally matched. They're almost built the same exact way, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if that's enough for
We'll see.
for the Bengals. But like you said,
we'll see.
I don't want to count them out. I'm kind of going to let's ride, baby.
Let's jump on.
Who day?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is? Who day?
Get on it.
Yeah.
Rio's been on there a while.
14-17. Kansas City Chiefs are up. Let's see. A crazy fourth quarter carries the 49ers to a come-from-behind 13-10 victory over the Packers and into the NFC Championship game, which is their second in 3 years. Jimmy G was heard after the game saying, fuck the Packers to Robbie Gould.
Love you, Jimmy G.
I'm already
Jimmy G. Just chill out, dude. You're that guy who gets the A+ in the group, right? That you didn't do nothing but showed up and put your name on the top.
You're the water boy on the side there with like the big powerhouse of a school that can carry you to.
All right, let me calm you guys down a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So Jimmy G's numbers didn't look great. Okay.
Yep.
At the end of the day, they didn't. But in the first half is when they were getting beat up.
Yep.
There were multiple, 3 in a row, third down plays where Jimmy G put on the numbers and they dropped the ball. Kittle,
I did see that, yeah.
And Janoris Jenkins, right?
Yep.
So they all had a drop on third down in that, especially, I think that was all in the second quarter. So it was back to back to back where he put on the numbers and they should have had a first down, but they dropped it. So
they did not throw those 2 interceptions.
One of them was tipped. By the
was?
receiver, yeah, for sure. I can't remember the other one, but one of them for sure was by the receiver. So that would have been another drop. But so normally I'm on board with that because Jimmy G likes to throw the short pass and then they get 50 yards.
Or right up
I'm
the
with
seam.
you on
He's
that.
that seam guy.
But in this game, he was fine. He was totally fine.
He did enough or not. Either way, he wasn't spectacular. He didn't lose. They didn't lose or win because of him.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Which is how it would go any other week, right?
Yep.
They're not going to win most likely because of him or lose because of him.
Right.
I mean, they could. I mean, if you
This
have
is going to
one or
be.
the other,
They're built on the run game. The run game's going to do its thing. The defense can stand tall. That's what the 49ers are going to
the
do.
biggest surprise here, and maybe it's not a surprise at this point though, is Aaron Rodgers and the Packers again, and Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
Yep.
He is also 0-4 against the Niners themselves in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We talked.
You guys
about
seen
this
the video,
last night,
right?
Too, yeah.
You guys seen the video?
Which one?
The replay of him on draft day. Do you have anything to say
Oh.
to the 49ers? He's like, they're going to regret every day that they didn't draft me.
That's aging well.
Yeah, it's aging real well, especially in the playoffs.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was real quick. That's what I was talking about. So Tannehill cost the Titans because that defense was playing great, right? So we can say that. Ding, there's one. Rodgers costed the Packers.
He did.
Now, we talked about this last night. The Packers defense gave up 6 points in that game.
They did. The other one was a blocked punt. Return for a touchdown.
Exactly.
So they did their job at Lambeau. They did exactly
Yep.
what they're supposed to do. All we needed from you was a measly I mean, technically you need 14, but what we need from you, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and your high-powered offense is 20 points.
And see, that's why
When we play defense like that.
all year, I didn't think it was the right.
And we've been
It was
saying
not
that,
the
yeah.
number one seed I thought they were. What everybody was thinking, I was like, this
Mhm.
is not. You've got Devontae Adams and you've got two good running backs. That's it. And the defense I thought was just playing up. They played well. But of course, I think they matched up really well.
Yeah. Well, they knew
with
what
that defense.
Pressure.
exactly what we just talked about. We knew
Pressure.
exactly. We knew exactly. They knew exactly what they needed to do. They know the Niners are a smash mouth football team. Let's plug the holes. Let's do our shit, and then we're gonna leave Aaron Rodgers. We're hoping to put Aaron Rodgers out there and he puts some points on the board. All we gotta do is stop this run. Jimmy G is not a threat to us.
Right.
Yeah.
As in them, and they did their job. You can't do a better job than that. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this, you guys weren't on board 100%, but I have been all year. To me, tell me what you think, but this solidifies the fact that Aaron Rodgers is leaving after this season.
So I'm gonna get to a quote now. That is on because he talked after the game.
Yep.
And we've talked about it's not necessarily the best time to ever contact somebody is right after an emotional game, an emotional loss. But Aaron Rodgers will take some time to make tough decision about his future, which will include conversations with the front office. He did say, I don't want to be a part of a rebuild if I'm going to keep playing. He said he just doesn't know yet about that. But he did tell us earlier in the year, if you guys remember, he said, I'm not going to take forever. It's like I'm going to hold the team up or anything. But conversations will be had. Unless the team says, and so I'm reading this as, unless the team says, hey, if you're ready to go, it's time to go. We're ready to reboot this. I think he would if he's going to come back. If he doesn't come back, it's because he's retiring. I don't think he has his eyes big anymore, like what it looked like earlier part of the season, and even up through half the season. I was still 100% of thinking that he was going to be somewhere else, maybe even beyond that. Maybe it was 10 weeks into the NFL season. I was still believing that he was going to go somewhere else. I'm not sold on that.
Okay.
Yeah, not sold on it either. I think he's going to see what they're going to do with Devontae, right? Because they can either tag him or let him test waters, and that'll come into play a little bit too, because I know they really like each other and they want to play with each other. I don't know. It just kind of depends on.
Well, here's a question for you then. So how we just put this. You were the number one seed, and yes, you have faltered out again in the first round, or the first round that you play the game in. If you're the Packers, do you throw it in, or do you try to get one more year with all this, and you try to get like another weapon for him?
So that's where things change. I see where you're going. If they bring in a legit number 2 receiver, and he can play with Devontae one more year at least, I think that changes things.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
But do you think do you think Green Bay's ready to move on to where they're rebuilding, or do you think they would go try to attempt to do at least another year of this?
I don't know what Green Bay's going to do.
I don't
man.
know, because you're running out of time for Jordan Love's rookie contract.
Yeah.
Also, so if you're really going to find out what he's about, and if he's the guy you're assigned for the future, Do you go Aaron Rodgers one more year? Because Jordan Love's been here now 2 years.
Yep. So he's got what, 2 more years,
He
right?
has
So-
2 more and a player option for
Yeah.
a
Right.
fifth. Yep. But you don't
Be
want to play.
interesting.
You don't want to play that 5th year or pay that 5th year, which you have to make that decision by the 4th year, early on before the season starts. I do believe. You don't want to make that decision unless you've actually seen him on the field more than just preseason games, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So they either that or they'd have to see something ridiculous on the practice field that not the everyday public is seeing.
Agreed. And I think that Aaron Rodgers cares more about his legacy than you think he does. So when that reporter, journalist, whatever, from Chicago said that he automatically didn't vote for Rodgers, Rodgers was pissed about that, right? For MVP. He was like, that's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. He was upset because he wasn't going to get that vote. So I'm loving Aaron Rodgers more than ever this year.
Yep.
I hate to say that.
Yep.
But that he said it out loud. Like he didn't like that, right? So I think he's thinking about his legacy, and he's going to figure out whatever the best option for him is. Maybe it's retiring for a year.
So I'm thinking. So I'm with you on that. But
That's
I
what
think
Peyton Manning does. Go out to the Broncos and take them to the Super Bowl.
I think he likes
Broncos would be good, yeah.
I think he likes the legacy part, absolutely. But his legacy is also tied to the Packers and seeing yourself
Not
leave.
for him.
There's a
I don't think he
difference.
thinks so. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I don't think
Okay.
he thinks so.
You don't. Yeah. I mean,
So
same
there's
thing
a
with Peyton
difference.
Manning and the
no,
Colts, right?
No. Big difference. Big difference. That one was a neck injury, and they didn't think he'd be able to play again. Also, and it wasn't looking good. So they moved on because they had the how often do you have the number 1 overall pick with Peyton Manning still on your roster and you have a shot at like Andrew Luck?
No, I'm not arguing that. What I think, I don't know if Rio's saying the same thing, but what I'm saying is his legacy is more important. So he's going to look at, are the Packers my best chance to get to a Super Bowl? Because that's what everybody knocks me on.
Right, that's
is
what
my
everybody
one
looks
Super
at.
Bowl.
Right, and
or is another team my better option? That's what I'm saying.
I kind of get I do get what you're saying. What I'm trying to say to you is like it can't be the same thing as Peyton Manning's. Peyton Manning, he literally moved on because they drafted a number 1 overall pick, Andrew Luck, and he had a neck injury. He had to move on. The Indy was a big old crying
Right,
session.
but
If
he
you guys
could have
remember, they moved
retired,
him
but
on.
he wanted to go get another Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Get one.
absolutely. After they make that decision, that's the reason why I was asking you guys, what does Green Bay do? Because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to leave without Green Bay's decision to say
no or yes, whichever.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
That's fair.
I
Devontae
think-
is a big piece in this puzzle.
I think so. Yeah.
They love each other.
Which he wouldn't be able to go to Denver. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Not after they just signed, 2-3 of them boys now.
Yeah.
So where could I go back to this because this is what I still think in my heart? Could he go to Pittsburgh?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know if they have a number 1. I'm just gonna be real with you.
No, well, they have a bunch of at least very solid number twos,
twos,
a
agreed.
bare minimum. I don't have a problem with any of what you're saying there. I don't think that would happen just because if he's looking at his legacy, he's also had one of the best offensive lines traditionally for pass protection throughout his career.
Yep.
And you're not going to that one
It's fair.
to get killed in your last year or two.
Right. Plus, in
that's
the
fair.
North, that's going to be a tough
He wants to be protected.
tough
So
division.
let's talk. We'll talk about that then for 1 second.
Yeah.
Where do we think he would go? Think about offensive line first. And then where they could fit Devontae Adams also. Now, granted, Devontae Adams may not even have an option because by the sounds of it, they look like they're going to franchise tag him anyways.
Yeah. Go to Indy, baby. You go in. The defense isn't horrible.
Offensive
You
line,
have,
there
you
you
have
go.
an offensive line, a running
One
back.
weapon.
One weapon.
But then you take Devontae with you.
You take Devontae with you.
Yes.
If they're
agreed.
able to.
That would be, yeah.
That one would be interesting.
Holy
Indoors.
shit,
You get
that would be
indoors.
interesting.
You get
Indoors.
to play
Yeah.
indoors. The defense is not bad. You have a good offensive line.
You could
have a
own
stud
that
running
division
back.
forever. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, only for a year until Trevor Lawrence takes it over.
This thought popped up on me, when I was thinking. I seen them
that's a good
thinking
idea.
about Devontae, and I was like, where could they go if
I
Devontae
don't.
had to leave too?
Yeah.
I don't think. I believe
Because
they
I said Denver
they go
couldn't
in
do it.
again is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like for one more year.
Yep. I
No,
do.
that's probably the
Year
thing.
two,
yeah.
especially if you franchise tag him, then you're only signing him for 1 year anyway. So one
Yeah.
more year of this. You try to bring in another weapon with him too
Okay.
if you can. You're going to lose a defensive player or two. I think Za'Darius or Preston Smith, one of them is up. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. All right. That's fair.
uh,
But Rio, just so you know, that's the biggest reason I picked him against Dallas was because then they would have to go play Green Bay, and I legitimately think to this moment they were the only team that was going to be able to beat Green Bay in Green Bay for sure.
San Fran.
Yeah. I wouldn't have trust LA. I wouldn't have trust Tampa. I think San Fran was the team that was going to beat him in Green Bay. I really
see.
do.
This could be our
Yeah.
this could be my hater
I
coming
don't know.
out.
I think Dallas could do it if they had ran the right running back.
I think
I think if they ran
All
Pollard.
right, I respect that.
I think if you
Yeah.
ran a healthy Pollard and been able to move the ball, because, I mean, they.
But would they have?
No.
Okay.
No.
Tom Brady.
Jerry Jones
Tom
too
Brady's
loyal.
used to balling in the
Agreed.
cold too, so I won't even discount that. And
Tom Brady, too. Yep.
And Matthew Stafford has one in Lambeau. And then you put those pieces together, which all they had to do is play a good defensive game, and that's what they did, and that's what they just did right here too, until some sloppy offensive play that brought the Bucks back into the Rams game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's go back to San Fran real quick since we already passed them up, right?
Yep.
I am worried about the fact that, and you called this out at the end of the game, Jimmer, Debo went out. He looked rough. He hopped out on one leg.
He could barely
And
get
then who
out,
else
too.
got hurt?
Kittle at the end.
Kittle
At
got
the end was
got twisted
hopping.
on there, yeah.
If Debo is hurt in this next game, that changes everything.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
He is the heart of that team, man.
Yes.
I
That
agree.
offense.
Yes.
Of that offense. It
Of
does
the offense.
move-
Yeah, fair.
Of the
Yep.
offense. And
Yep.
that's huge because technically Eric Armstead is balling out these last two games. Their defensive lineman is tearing through offensive lines like it's his business.
Yes.
Just owning. So
Yes, indeed.
we'll get to
I'm surprised you didn't want to touch on that.
what's that?
That last play, basically the last play for San Fran.
Which one? What was their last play?
They had those guys out, remember? And then they
Got hurt, yeah.
and then they got hurt, and they didn't have to do that. They could have let the clock run, but they had those guys run another play.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And
Instead of just kneeling the ball.
it was huge on that. Absolutely. Duh. Brain fart.
Dig
But
into
yeah,
it. Dig into it.
But
yeah.
I did. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you don't need that.
Yep.
You need to set. You need a
Set your kicker up.
You need a center quarterback exchange, and then you set up where the kicker wants the damn ball placed at his most comfortable spot for kicking the ball. You do not need all those weapons out there. You do not. And this is what happens when you overextend something, and hopefully,
Right. Plus, you can fumble the ball.
yeah.
You know, all
Yeah.
these things could happen. You take a knee, you snap the ball, and you take a
Yeah.
knee where your kicker wants
Oh
it.
yeah, those because I was like, what the hell are you running the ball for?
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
What are you doing? You trying to give them a shot?
Yeah.
Just dumb, right?
I want to make sure you touch on that. You were
Yeah.
hardcore yesterday.
Oh, I was
so-
like, Jesus. Like you want the shot. I want to see Green Bay lose. Don't fuck this up for me, please. And it looks like you were trying to. It looks like they were trying to let them get back in it. I have no idea, but
Yep.
the Buccaneers activated Leonard playoff Lenny Fournette off the injured reserve prior to the NFL divisional game, while offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs missed that game. Doesn't really matter because
They lost.
the Bucs impressive, and they could be the reason why they lost too, because there was pressure on
All
Brady
day.
all
All
day.
day.
He might I think they only had like 2 or 3 sacks, but he was hit or touched a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucs' impressive comeback comes up short against the Rams as they lose on a 30-yard field goal by Matt Gay with a final of 30-27. That doesn't quite tell the story of this game, though,
Right.
gentlemen.
Good for Mr. Gay because he was drafted by Tampa Bay and cut. Lost his job to Mr. Suckup.
Yep. You got anything about that game? Did you watch it?
I did. I thought we were going to touch it after news and notes, but
Okay, we can do
Yeah,
that too.
we touch on it later.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. I do have one question for you, gentlemen. It's not anything like what you're about to do. But we were talking some NFL, right? And this isn't you answering me like what you believe the record will be. I don't want any of that shit. But which New York team is going to be the first one to go to the playoffs? Doesn't matter what year. I'm not telling you to say next year or anything. Which one do you think is actually in a better position to make the playoffs here? In whatever year you believe, or who gets it first?
it's got to be Giants.
You think so?
Yeah, because Bill Belichick, his team's going to play hard and be tough in that division, right? The Bills are there, too. They're going to be good for years to come. So, yeah, it's not going to be the Jets at all, especially if they keep that whole front office and how horrible they've been. The Giants, I know you picked them to hit 9 wins, and I was scared of them to start the season, too, because they added a lot of people. And I wasn't even
Rio
trying
likes
to
to slide
I
that.
wasn't even trying to rub it
The
in.
other day,
right up
the
in
other
it.
day we mentioned Tennessee, and he had to mention that Texas running back, right?
Yeah.
Had to slide it in.
Just had to
He's
slide
good
it
at
whatever.
that. He's good at that.
But I thought they were going to be a whole lot better. I thought they were going to be a whole lot better than what they were. They added a lot of pieces that ultimately were hurt. I think if they get the right coach in there, if Daniel Jones can figure out if he's the guy or not, which I don't know if he is, but they got a lot of weapons there. If they can put it all together, the inconsistent play from Washington to Dallas and the Eagles, they could be right in the mix and slide into the playoffs at any point.
You notice how he conveniently left the Cowboys out and they're consistent, not making
I did.
it.
I said.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
He did say Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. It's the Giants. By the way, Chiefs are up 23-21 right now.
Ooh.
It's almost the end of the third. So
Get it.
Where'd the
this
other
is
one
a
come
game,
from?
man.
Oh, there's 2 passing touchdowns by Allen, huh? Both to Gabriel Davis.
Did you
What
pick
the
him
hell
up?
is it? No, what the hell is going on here? Stefan, remember you looking up at the scoreboard last year all sad? Where the hell are you at, brother?
He's like, I'm distracting everybody else.
He's like, I'm throwing everyone else off.
Take it.
This is one hell of a game. And it's coming down to the rest of them, right? Just
Yep.
like the ones that followed up earlier this weekend.
But, yeah, I agree. It's the Giants for sure. And it's mostly because of the division. I think the Patriots will be good enough. They need to get some weapons. If they want to do anything, they need more weapons. You can't have, 3 good tight ends but no receivers. You just can't do that if you want to actually do some damage in the playoffs. But the Bills are going to own that shit until Josh Allen leaves at some point. So the Giants, I think, are the best bet. Plus, to be fair to you, Jimmer, 9 wins. If they would have been healthy, they have the talent, and that defense is not bad.
They
So
were
they could get
in
there.
a lot of those. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
either way, they came up short. They dealt with, and I'm not even going to use that as an excuse. They just weren't there. Everybody dealt with injuries, and everybody dealt with COVID this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
They took a dip when they lost Daniel Jones, which is huge when you lose your quarterback. But
Yeah.
you know what? They did show some heart here, there, everywhere, but ultimately they had the wrong coach, evidently. So
Yeah, people dog Daniel Jones a lot, but, dude, when he left, it was a big difference for them, right?
huge, right?
Yeah.
Mike the Neck Glennon. So
Yeah.
and that's what I got for news, gentlemen. Maybe they're just going to have to fleece it out.
Fleece it out, baby.
Fleece it out.
I'm gonna before I kick her over to you. I did have a wonderful weird law for you. And where the hell? We're almost there. Discount. Okay, there it is. Utah doesn't have happy hour. It is illegal to discount booze or do anything that might promote overindulgence in Utah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Considering Nevada's right there.
Right.
Pretty close. So.
Yeah. So it isn't like I was fully shocked by this one. It's kind of like the Mormon state, right?
Exactly. That's
You
where I
know,
was
you got
going.
BYU
Probably
over
why,
there.
yeah.
I mean, but
Makes sense.
still,
Yeah. Okay.
I thought they like money.
Yeah,
but
you can have 25 wives, but you can't.
you can't have
get a
25
discount on
beers,
booze,
but you
yeah.
can't have 25 beers.
That's bullshit. Discounted beers.
You can't have discounted beers
Yeah, that's weird.
because that'd be promoting overindulgence.
All right, Rio,
Correct.
hold on. You got Rio's randoms in a second, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I left early, so I didn't get to tell this story.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get
And
it.
so this is another. Jimmer, you mentioned there's a lot of poop stories. And Miles, even I did listen to that, and holy
Yes.
shit.
Holy shit.
First of all,
You missed a good one.
before I get into this, yeah, I'm going to ask this question. I don't care. So if you're getting it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care from beginning, your first, when you were fucking 14 or whatever, to now, has anybody ever farted while it was going on?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not that random.
No.
I don't know if I've ever had.
You've never had a female.
I don't know if I've
fart.
ever had a chick fart on me in the middle of doing deeds.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Unless
okay.
it's.
I'm just saying. As far as
But-
Miles' story goes, it kind of, in my opinion, it kind of makes sense because everything's clenched up, and then you're
Kind of the
know,
release?
Yeah,
And then you
kind of a
just let a
release.
couple rabbit turds out.
when he talked about washing in the turds were clean. That was different. I'm
Oh
like,
my God. We
first
got
of
all
all,
up
what
in
the
the
fuck?
sheets. What the hell's
my
wrong
God.
with you, dude?
you have some polished turds in there. That's weird.
Right, dude. Are hard and shiny now.
So you asked that question a few episodes ago about. No, it wasn't a question. It was talking about Scotland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, if somebody has to go to the bathroom, you have to let them in, right?
Yeah.
So before I worked as the ethanol plant in our area here, and that's the same place I lost my toe, right?
Yep.
Before that happened, I worked at Come and Go for like 3-4 months, right? This is a new come and go, just off of the interstate. And now it's got like a Taco John's connected to it and stuff like that.
Oh, I know
okay?
exactly where you're at then. Okay.
So I was working night shift there. And, at the end of your shift, you got to clean the bathrooms and do all that stuff, right? You got to get shit taken care of. Well, here's the deal. At that particular gas station or fuel station, you run into a lot of truckers, okay? They'll come in, and they've got to put like $1,200 worth of fuel in, shit like that. You got to give them a special receipt, all this stuff, right? And so we're towards the end of the shift. Somebody comes in. I got to go mop, clean the bathroom, all that stuff. And I went, I did my job, and then I go into the big stall in the bathroom. And this is where it makes me think, no, I'm not letting somebody come into my bathroom, okay? I don't give a shit. I'm not home. I'm turning the lights off. It's not happening. So I went into the bathroom, and across the wall. So they didn't have the touch, the motion, anything. You still had to push, right? Push this plunger down. It was push this whatever down to flush it. And against the wall, shit. Just somebody sprayed shit against the wall, and as they sat down, they're spraying, and then eventually made it in the toilet. Right? And so
gas station food, man.
Oh my god! So I'm in there cleaning everything. I added toilet paper, all that stuff, and I saw that, and I was like, "That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. I'm done.
We're good. We're good to go. Like this bathroom looks great." So I left. Or I didn't leave at that point. I went out. Do what you have to have soda. You have to add a bunch of stuff, right? So I did whatever else I had to do, and I left. And the next day, I came in and worked my night. And then the managers don't come in until the morning because they got that 8 to 4 whatever shift. And she's like, "Hey, did you clean the bathroom last night?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, what happened? Fully ready for some shit to go down. Well, somebody had kind of snitched or whatever. They're like, "Listen, there was shit all over the wall here," and I'm like, "No, it was fine. It was totally good." When I went in there, somebody must have came in just after I left. Like, I don't know what could have happened. But this motherfucker, this trucker, straight up started shitting his pants before he pulled his pants down, right? Sprayed all over the wall and then into the toilet. I'm like, "Listen, I don't know if you want me to get a mop and clean that wall or what you're trying to do, but I'm not doing anything with that. I'm done. I'm done. No chance." And so when you were talking about that, I'm like, I'm not just letting any random person, because they got to go, dude.
Right.
They got to go.
Right. If they're knocking on a random person's house, too, obviously they got to go like now.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And it's not number one.
No way.
It's not number one, because if it's number one, you're just going beside a building or a tree or something. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
You know what they're there to do.
I'm not doing that. So I said, no, it must have happened after. Like, everything was good. And then, whatever. Here we are. But, yeah. I don't know what you want. I'm not getting a fucking washcloth and cleaning the wall off, okay? That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
So, but anyway, I wanted to interrupt that. But I know you got some good questions, Rio. What's going on?
All right. Here is Rio's Randoms, brought to you by Bose Power Washing. Based out of Belmont, Iowa.
Shout out, Bo.
Yeah. Kevin Beauchart, he'll hook you up. He'll plow snow, power wash decks, anything you need cleaned. He'll get it done for you. So hit him up.
Name it, mow it.
Yep.
Wash it. Doesn't matter. He'll do whatever.
All right. First question of the night.
Do you have his number there?
I do have his number.
You want to say it out loud? Because that's what he already did.
Get to it at the end. Get to it at the end.
I put it in our description.
Okay.
At the top of our description.
I got you.
We'll tell it too. Let's go.
Yep. But if you could win free tickets to any NFL team's game for life, which would you choose? And they can't be your favorite team right now.
Fucked up.
No, that's stupid.
That's a bullshit question.
That is a really bullshit question.
Right. So say you want to draw NFL team.
Okay.
Boom, they drew your name, but it's not the team that you root for right now.
Go ahead, Danny.
Jesus.
Say the airfare and everything's included. That way, there's no.
Okay.
Say that it's all
Yeah.
inclusive, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to go to a California team, even though that might be on top of my list. Probably going to a Florida team. So I'm probably going to Tampa or Miami. So if I had to pick, I'll go to Miami. That's where I'm going.
Dolphins. Okay.
It's more about the destination than the team, because you don't know what the team's going to do at that point, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm going
They're
Miami.
obviously drawn for free tickets for a reason.
Yeah, I'm going Miami.
Okay.
You kind of took my sail out of my wind on that one.
That's right.
For that, you know what? Then mine would have to be the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
good,
almost with the Rams right there. I'm like, hold on a second.
too. That's good.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
What do you
Very
got?
good. Denver. I'd like to go to Denver, hang out, go.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful
Yep.
place.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
You'd
That'd
like
be
to
cool.
freeze your chi-chis off. I got you.
I think it'd be
Not
just-
always, man.
Not always, and I think it'd be a good atmosphere.
If you could ski when it's like 60 degrees, done.
Man.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Hot tub when it's 60 and snowing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go. I like it.
I'm with it.
If you could have one celebrity be your best friend, who would it be?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh man, you took it. Yes, Ryan Reynolds for
Yeah.
sure.
I-
100%. There's
he
not
never.
a question.
So
Yeah.
I never get tired of what, like, first off, what he's talking about. I don't get tired of his smartassness is on my same level. So
Yeah.
I'm all about that business. Yeah, you couldn't.
It's not on the same level, but I get it.
No, like what I like to hear, like that type,
Right,
like that
yeah.
style. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's digging. It's all good. I'd say Ryan Reynolds or my celebrity crush, Mila Kunis, baby. Because listen, if you're in the friend zone, it's almost better.
You could see some stuff.
Oh, do you want to try that on?
That's crazy. I'll just look over here.
No, don't worry about me. We're just friends.
Yeah,
so.
we're just friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would have to go either Ryan Reynolds, Mark Wahlberg, somewhere like that. That'd be awesome.
Wahlberg would be
Definitely.
good. Or The Rock. What about The Rock?
Ooh, that yeah.
He has a helicopter.
Oh, you
that
know
takes
what?
him to his
No, I'm
house.
changing it. It'd be Ryan Reynolds or Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Because you know we're
Kevin's
seeing
good.
The Rock at some point.
Yep. Yep.
Right, you just get a double.
I don't know. I see all these videos where Kevin Hart tries to call him, and The Rock ignores his calls. Right? He's always like on there. He's like, I'm gonna call my famous celebrity, friend, and he ignores his calls every time. So I don't know how that would work.
Right. And the last one. If you could switch places with anyone in the world for one day, who would it be?
Ooh.
Mm.
Anybody in the world?
Anybody. 24 hours.
Who's married to Mila Kunis? Ashton Kutcher, probably. No,
Jeff Bezos.
we'll go beyond that. That's good. I like that.
Okay.
Vladimir Putin, what's up?
We're spending all kinds of stupid money, but
Vladimir Putin, bitch.
Putin.
Putin.
What's up, Putin? No,
Taking over
Putin,
Russia for a day.
What's up, Putin?
Let's go.
Putin and shit.
Putin and shit.
I'm going Dan Bilzerian. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yes.
But,
oh
yes.
my God.
Billionaire guy.
Damn it.
Always has got some
Well
fine-looking
played.
ladies.
That's good. Well played.
I don't know if you know who he is. Look him
No.
up.
No.
Yeah, tons of money, bunch of fine-looking ladies he's hanging out with. Definitely.
My close second. I'm surprised you didn't go. This was gonna be Elon Musk. Like, isn't he, like, to our knowledge, he could be this generation's Iron Man.
He could be for sure. I don't know though. Like, I don't want to be that busy. He's always got shit going on.
I'm not gonna be busy. It's one day. Fuck that
Yeah,
shit.
it's one day.
I'm
He's
taking a
saying-
vacation day on his vacation.
He's taking a personal day.
Oh yeah, we taking a personal
Yeah.
day. We're doing stupid shit. We're transferring all kinds of money to one Jimmer Holder in in Iowa, baby.
In Iowa.
Oh yeah,
Hell
giving
yeah.
them all kinds of shit, like free stuff from the warehouses. That's getting shipped.
Come on, it's more about the experience, not about the money, Jimmer.
Yeah, my experience is gonna last a lifetime after I'm done.
All right, that's my question.
Dude,
Yeah.
so we're
Brought to
at. Let me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Brought to you by Bose Power Washing.
Bose Power Washing.
We don't want to interrupt that. Bo is the
No.
man.
No,
We'll
he
take
is the
Bo
man.
Shard all day.
Yeah. Except for the
Uh,
Cowboys part.
So I was just gonna
I'll take
say, so my last day in Michigan, I'm talking to these guys, right? And at first we're talking about how big their families are, and one gal has twins, and I'm like, I'm not interested in twins, like no way, whatever. Then we go over to this other guy, they got like 7 brothers and sisters. Then this other guy who's like, yeah, my family was like 14 people, like as far as brothers and sisters, right? I'm like, Jesus, like how the hell? And then we get into who they're related to down in Florida, right? And so this guy's son, and I don't want to say who, right? But NASA, he works for NASA in Florida. And so they get to go down, and I'm like, hold on. I'm like, that'd be pretty cool. Like, if you had the backdoor key, right, you could do some shit, whatever. He's like, no, it gets better. He's like, so he's a basically heavy crane operator. So they get to open the doors for all the shit. They get to do all that stuff. He's like, we get to go down there and go fishing off of the piers that are in essentially NASA territory, right?
Oh, nice.
So they get to get in and go fishing when nobody else does. So they got a bunch of reels lined up, right, and everything. But then they turn around, and they get to see the rockets getting built
Oh, that's awesome.
while they're doing it. How fucking cool would that be? I'm like, dude, I'm so jealous.
You know what? They're
That
just
kinda
going.
shit's cool.
They're just going Mach 5.
Mach 5.
Mach 5. They ain't even built yet, bro. You get to see them getting built. That shit. Oh, man.
Dink and flicker.
That is some dinkin' flicka shit right there.
No doubt.
Get them all knocked out. No, that's awesome. Jesus.
Could you imagine? Nobody's out there. You're on
Right.
the pier, and nobody else gets to go
Nobody.
there. But you, so
Pretty
you
cool.
got all you can eat. You just fish.
Heck yeah, man.
Turn around,
love
watch
it.
a rocket. Yeah.
Every second of it. Yeah. Where else we going? We gonna talk about the games now?
Yeah, let's just touch the games real quick.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Let's bring it up because I want to leave it on the one page of the. So it's a close one. 23-21 still.
Still, all right.
Yeah. Looks like the Bills are about to punt it back, though. They just had a horrible penalty. All right. So the first game, obviously, the one that started the weekend off for us was Bengals 19-16. We touched on how they won. But your impressions of the game. Well, what would you feel when you were watching this? Let's go there.
So, the Bengals game.
Yep, and Bengals Titans, and then I have a question for you after that.
So, I do have a few stats here for the Bengals and Titans game. First off, I will say I thought it was lower score than I thought. I thought the Bengals could really open it up. I did not see Burrow getting sacked that many times.
No.
What was he at? 9?
Nine.
Yeah.
Yes.
It seemed like every one of their series he'd have one where he just
Yeah.
blown up.
Crazy. And, Tannehill, like I said, you don't want him having to throw the ball to keep you in a game. That's going to be a bad thing. And I thought the Bengals could do that. Score enough points to make him have to throw the ball, and that would be bad. So, glad they won. It was an awesome game. What's his name? Simmons, defensive tackle for the Titans, was balling out in the backfield
Killing
every single play.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, he was just going crazy. Awesome game.
Yeah, it wasn't at his expense, right?
Yeah, definitely. A few stats here from this game. Ryan Tannehill, he's the fourth quarterback to throw an interception on the first play from scrimmage of a playoff game in the last 30 seasons. The others, Drew Brees in 2018, Aaron Rodgers in 2009, and Kurt Warner in 1999 NFC championship game versus Tampa Bay. Some more. A.J. Brown had broke the single-game playoff franchise record, previously held by Ernest Givens.
142 yards.
Yep.
But he didn't have many catches, right?
No, he only had 5 receptions.
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill really didn't throw that many passes either. They just went away from, I don't know, just a weird game. He had
It was a
24
weird
attempts.
Joe Burrow, third quarterback in the Super Bowl era to be sacked 9 times in a playoff game. The other quarterbacks were both Hall of Famers, Lynn Dawson and Warren Moon.
9. Jesus.
Let's see. Evan McPherson is the first player in NFL history to make 4+ field goals in multiple games in a single postseason.
He's a stud, man.
He is a
Yeah,
stud.
did you see? Did you see that meme? Evan McPherson in Cincinnati after the game.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's
it was
laying
a
in-
road trip
yes.
with the skinny dude, the big old girl right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Joe Burrow is the first quarterback drafted number 1 overall to win a divisional round playoff game within his first 2 seasons.
Might have done it in his first season.
Crazy.
If he would have got hurt.
Technically, yeah.
And
I'm just saying I'm saying he might have done it in
If
his
he
first
didn't get
season.
hurt. Yeah,
if he
yeah.
didn't get hurt.
Yep.
Yep. And that's all the stats I have for this game.
Boom.
So A.J. Brown had $142 on 5 catches.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
so
that's
we're aware.
crazy.
Like, that's insane.
Well,
Did you see that one-handed touchdown grab, by the
No.
way?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't see
so
that.
he-
I didn't
Yeah, I
see
did
that
see
one
that.
touchdown. I
Right,
missed
he
that.
did push off, but
He did.
they let him play.
Yeah.
They let
Yep.
him play.
He did, but
Oh, it's right there. Yeah, it's literally playing the replay on the screen of it. Yeah, it's like
yeah, just insane,
That was awesome.
man. He's so
Turning,
good.
turning his body and everything.
Yeah.
So where I'm gonna go with this. First off, they got away from the run. It was a weird ass game. Derrick Henry did have 20 carries. I told you he didn't quite look right when I seen him. He had 20 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown. Right. Joe Burrow did not have really a special game. He had the yards, couldn't get it clicking because of 9 sacks. I mean, he had no touchdowns. He had an interception. Kind of a little ugly game, but that sometimes is what you need. It doesn't matter. Your swag was out there, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, I understand he was banged up. He just got back from injury. Talking about King Henry. Do the Titans do something different now? Do they? I think we're like. I think he only has 1 year left on that contract. Tannehill, that is.
No, didn't they just re-sign him?
A couple years ago.
Was it a couple years ago?
I thought it was
now?
a couple years ago, and I could be misinformed, but I thought it was still a couple years ago.
I'd look it up real quick.
Okay.
I like that question, but not in my head. I'm thinking quarterback, not anything else. Maybe
Right.
wide receiver, because Julio is what.
No,
he is,
Julio,
right?
you got to move on.
Yeah,
right?
right.
So he'll be in contract through the 2023 season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's got
one
two
more
more.
year.
2 more.
Does he
years?
have 2 more?
Yeah.
Well, dead.
One.
He has 1 more.
Through the
2022.
We're in 22.
It'll be the 22 season. and then
22,
the 23
22
season.
Oh,
into
the
23.
season,
Yes,
so-
the end of the
oh, okay.
23
Okay.
season.
Gotcha.
The end of 23 season.
And I thought about this too. After they lost, I'm like, listen, they lost because of Tannehill, right? That defense has played this season. They're a big reason they got that number 1 seed because King Henry was hurt, right?
And that front 7.
Yeah, especially.
front
Yeah, the
seven.
secondary is what it is,
It is
right?
what it is.
Yeah,
They're only going to get better.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
They lost some pieces there at the beginning. They're not playing with their number 1 draft pick, right? Caleb Farley
Yep.
from Virginia Tech,
Corner.
not playing with him. So
yeah.
the defense
so
and the secondary is only going to get better.
you hope, right? You
You would
hope, but
think
you don't
that-
know.
yeah.
But you don't
Right.
know.
Yep.
So think about what you got, right? You
Yep.
know what you have right now. So it's like if you're one of these quarterbacks, there's only a few that
And
like
this is
legit
what I was
quarterbacks,
kinda
right?
getting at.
Yeah. So that's when I started thinking about, I'm like, if Rodgers loses, I'm like, could he end up going there? Or if, Russ decides, fuck, imagine if Julio was healthy with A.J. Brown, with Derrick Henry, and even your Texas guy, what the hell's his last name? Something.
Colt McCoy?
No.
Or not.
Deontay Foreman.
Foreman.
Sorry, yeah,
That's what I'm
Foreman.
thinking of. Yeah.
Yep.
So with all of that, like,
And you
is
have a
Texas
legit
a
number
stop, or
receiver.
is the Titans a stop? Sorry, Texas.
Yeah.
Things like that, Watson, whatever, is that worth it? Would you go there? I think you would, right? Because you would have won this game had Tannehill not fucked up.
Yep.
I don't know what Tannehill's contract situation is, but
So 2 years.
if that's where you're going,
yeah, but,
that's where my head
but we're
went.
talking about like cap injury too. From
Yeah,
it. So like
dead money.
There might not be much dead money on that final
Yeah.
year. Usually you get front loaded. On
Exactly. So it's like, I think Tennessee has to be one of those teams you look at. Because overall, let's say they pull in one other number 2, right? Receiver,
Can they
whoever
win?
it is.
Can they win with him though? Can they win a Super Bowl with Ryan
No,
Tannehill?
I don't think so at this point.
Unless everything went perfect, right?
Yeah.
It's got
run
to be game plan's got to go perfect. Like I
Yeah.
said, you don't want him throwing the ball to throw you,
Right.
keep you in a game.
So in your mind, the kind of answer that's kind of you guys are both kind of answering it. Them they have to move on if they want to compete for.
if
a Super
it's
Bowl.
available.
If it's available, you don't like, hey, we're getting ready,
Right.
and then like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
And that's why I think
Yep.
it won't happen because you can't shit can Ryan Tannehill and try to go after this guy, before anything even goes on, right? You got to do
Yep.
it early, either commit or not right away, and the timing won't be right, and it won't happen.
There,
I don't know yet. There's a lot to happen.
There's a lot of
yet,
moving
so-
parts that could end up happening, but I was like, obviously they've shown they can't, right?
Right, but
Enough.
the guys have to want to come there too. So say you cut Ryan Tannehill, we're going all in on this guy.
No, actually you have to trade for him. If you're going for 1 year, literally,
if you want
literally 2 of those guys are tradable. Like as in
well,
Seahawks,
he's
he
got to
can't move.
okay it.
His isn't a no trade clause.
Yes,
no,
he's got a
He has
trade
a no
clause.
trade?
Yes, he's got to okay wherever he goes. Aaron Rodgers, free agent. Who's the other one? Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
And he also has a
He
no
has to
trade.
okay it.
Yeah, he has to okay it as well. So
Okay.
it's if they want to go there, which Watson, at this point, you take any out, right?
Yep. Well, maybe he hasn't okayed everybody, right? He's only
Right.
like, and we'll get into this, but he's talking.
Hold on,
about
that's
some
still the
other teams,
AFC
but-
South. The Texans are no way they'd send him that way. No
Oh
way.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
that's
good
true.
point.
No
It's a good
way.
point.
No way.
Yep,
No
it's a good
way.
point.
Yep.
We're not going to face this man.
Exactly.
That ain't going to
Twice a
happen.
year,
Yeah, twice
Twice
a
a
year.
year,
We're
yeah.
not going to
No.
do that.
But that's
I
a
was
good,
just
it's a
curious.
good question because I did think about that
The
yesterday.
worst
I'm
part
like,
is
oh,
this
shit.
isn't. We've talked about. It's not a very deep quarterback class either. On top of that, and then so
Well, if you can get one of those guys later,
If,
third round,
if they actually fall to where they should go,
second, third
that-
round,
yeah, absolutely.
Then take a stab. Sure.
yeah, why wouldn't you at that point? Absolutely, I agree with you there, but I don't think they're going to
But,
because
yeah.
they're overvalued, stupidly
Yes,
overvalued.
yep.
But let's
When it
let's
comes
be
to
real.
this,
When we think about the Titans, they're not going to give up on Tannehill. That's
won't.
a bad game. That's how they'll look at it, right? And they'll be
Yep.
like, "We were that close. We should have won." And
we had a banged up Derrick Henry.
So I don't think they'll
Yep.
do anything.
Yeah.
But it could be something. But
Yep.
here we
maybe.
are. So
Yep. So that was my question about that one. So
Okay.
we'll go. That was a little. I'm not surprised. Like I said, this was the toughest game that I had to choose, in my opinion,
It
for
was
me.
Yep.
very tough.
And it was only 3.5 spread on that one. So it was a difficult one to choose. Chiefs are up 26-21.
ooh,
And the Bills do have the ball back, though, and they are moving. Let's get that touchdown and shut them down. The second game, and this goes right at both of ours, all three of ours, because we've all been known to be Packers haters. Except for kind of this year when it came to the whole Aaron Rodgers part. Because the dude's starting to grow on me a little bit. Packers lose 13-10. And this was another weird, ugly game. Like the Packers went down, marched down the field, opening drive, get a touchdown. Rushing touchdown by the backup running back, by the way. Because Aaron Rodgers did not throw a touchdown in this game, gentlemen.
they didn't use him enough. Rio and I talked about this yesterday. They didn't use him enough at all.
Who, Aaron
The
Rodgers?
backup running back.
Dillon.
A.J. Dillon?
Yep.
Yeah.
We
So-
thought it'd be a perfect game to run smash mouth football and
Yep.
try to run up the throat.
So we can't take away from the fact, yes, Jimmy Garoppolo was under a lot of heat in this game too. Four sacks in this game that he ate up. Aaron Rodgers had 5 against him. This defense had this defensive front, especially I already alluded to, was Eric Armstead, just going bonkers.
Yep.
Could not protect him, right? They couldn't run against him, and they made him a one.
There were a couple plays where he almost got out. He almost got off the line of scrimmage, and Joey Bosa got him, right? He's like, "Oh, I'm going to trip you up," and you're down. Like, so they're so fast.
Game
too.
of inches, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, when your two main weapons were Aaron Jones all year and Devontae Adams, and then it should be Dillon also, right? Because I agree with you guys. But 9 catches. Aaron Jones with 9, Devontae Adams with 9. You know how many catches were outside of those two gentlemen?
3.
2. One by Allen Lazard, one by Mercedes Lewis. Tell me they don't need another weapon.
They
Didn't-
Even if they
Didn't Cobb come back for this game too? He wasn't he good
He's
to go?
come back.
he did,
yeah.
but he only had 1 target.
Even when they brought him back, he still wasn't. Aaron Rodgers was speaking for him. I want him
Yeah.
back, and it still never really used him. It didn't seem like. I think he had a game. He did catch 2 touchdowns, but he had like 11 yards.
This was a perfect, and we haven't beat it up enough. It was a perfect game plan by Kyle Shanahan, and they executed it beautifully, even with subpar quarterback play. A busted 3. It was definitely a 3-phase game, right? Because we already alluded to the block punt that got San Francisco back into this. That touchdown.
the game.
Yeah, that's
that tied
why.
the game at
That's
the
why I
point.
wouldn't say it was a perfect game plan because that block punt got
No,
you
no,
the other
I
touchdown.
don't mean
But-
offense. I don't mean like necessarily offensively.
Okay.
But they didn't really cost themselves too much on offense. That's what I'm trying to say. And then their defense was balling out. They had a perfect defensive game plan.
Yes, I do
Right?
agree with that.
Against the Packers, which we're talking about Aaron Rodgers at home, and just a weird game.
Offensively, Debo was really the only guy that could do anything. So he even, at the beginning of the second half, he had a kick return. Big kick return. Took him to the 50, I want to say, right?
Yep, somewhere right there.
So
Yep.
they used him everywhere. They beat him up in the second half, man. They used the shit out of him, which worries me about the next game.
Absolutely. Especially we saw him looking banged up there too late in the game. So hopefully he's all right. I do have a couple stats here for this game. Aaron Rodgers passed both 49ers legend Joe Montana and Packers legend Brett Favre for 4th most pass yards in NFL postseason history.
Yeah, whatever. Yep.
Also, the 49ers just made A-Rod the only quarterback in NFL history to lose 4 playoff starts to a single opponent. And they themselves will make their 17th conference
That one I
championship
appreciate.
appearance, breaking a tie with the Steelers for most by any team since the conferences were formed in the 1970 NFL merger.
Yeah, and then we'll get moved on to the wonderful Rams-Buccaneers game, which was ugly as shit, right? And this was this game shouldn't have been as close as what it was. It ended 30-27. The Rams at one point were up 20. You said 24. I thought it was 27-3.
It was
24-3. They
It
got
was
a field goal.
27-3.
It was 27-3.
Then
They,
they got-
were
Yeah.
down by 24.
They got a field goal after. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
fair.
But either way, they were down by a bunch, right? And then a bunch of dumb
Yep,
shit started
trailed by
happening.
24 points, 27-3 in the third quarter versus the Rams.
And there was a bunch of sloppy play happening. Fumbles.
Cooper Kupp had a fumble. Akers had a fumble. Like, it was back and forth. It was weird.
Brought them in. And this finished. So Tom Brady was sacked 3 times. Doesn't sound like a bunch. But this dude was under nothing but heat all day long. He was getting touched. He was the replacement tackle for Wirfs was getting blown up every single play
Yeah.
and getting right by him. He came up a little short though, so Terrific Tom is out of the playoffs. Don't know about his future yet.
Yeah, he said he's going to take some time. Kind of the same thing as
Did he?
Aaron Rodgers. Going to take some time, talk with some people close to him, and
See if it's time.
See what he wants to do.
Leonard Fournette did end up with 2 tutties in this game. Mike Evans played one hell of a game too, even with Jalen Ramsey on him. Jalen Ramsey played a little out of sorts. He gave up, and he actually got a huge penalty against him. Hit Mike Evans after the ball was over his head. Hit him high. I do believe it was to the head too.
Yep.
Got a personal, and which extended the drive, and I think they ended up getting a touchdown.
No, it didn't. That's what was weird about that play. So that play that you're talking about is on the sideline, right? And so basically Evans didn't get the ball, and Ramsey came over. He was not on him. So Ramsey wasn't on him most
On
of the
that
game.
one?
No, on most of the game.
Yeah, on the touchdown he gave up, he was
right,
on him.
right.
Okay.
At the end, right?
Yep.
So the first half and then into the third, Ramsey was not on Mike Evans. And then he's like, no, fuck this, and he went over, and he started one-on-one on Mike Evans. But on that play you're talking about, it was really weird because he came over and clocked Mike Evans, right? Helmet to helmet. So normally you're like, oh, shit, okay. They get to extend the play. It's something, right? Personal foul, whatever the hell the case is. But the ball hit the ground just before Jalen Ramsey hit him helmet to helmet. So it was a dead ball foul. So it was a 15-yard penalty, but it was on 4th down. So whose ball was it? It was the Rams' ball. Or it was I guess it would have been the Rams' ball. But it was a 15-yard penalty from where the ball was. And so
So
the ball was
it's
at like
after
the
the
40 or
play.
50. Yeah.
Okay, so it was off out, then
Gotcha.
moved it back, and then the offense got on the
Yeah,
field.
so it was damn near the end zone. It
Whoa.
was around the 5-yard line.
I was gonna say because I was listening to this on the radio. 'cause I was
Yeah,
waiting for my
it
son.
was really weird. It was a
Okay.
bang bang play, but since the ball touched the ground just before Ramsey hit him helmet to helmet, dead ball.
Doesn't count.
So they got the ball back.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a really weird one. I didn't like it. I'm like, but whatever. I mean,
Yep.
Cooper Kupp ended up with 183 receiving yards, 9 receptions, and a tutty. Oh boy, and he had the game sealing.
thank God, because he almost cost them the game.
He almost
So-
cost
Yeah.
them the game, and then he ended up getting
That
open
fumble.
and breaking one down to where they
Two,
got to where
he
they're
had both the
kicking off for.
catches. He
Yep.
had both catches in
Matthew Stafford.
game-winning drive. Yeah.
Of all people,
Matt-
who the fuck should not catch the ball
No kidding.
Cooper
to get
Kupp.
them in? Yeah, to get them in field goal range. Come on, man.
guy.
Yeah. But Matthew
Wow.
Stafford's had these in the past, by the way. Like a lot of people don't realize this, but when he was with Detroit, the reason, and you can say the reason why he always had him, God, I can't remember if he's the all-time best at it or the most comeback or come from behind when you have 2 minutes or less, blah blah blah, game tied or whatever. But he showed that he could do it on a good team. When you're with the Lions, you're going to have many attempts to go ahead and do that, right?
It's one of my stats, actually.
Oh, there we
which
go.
I
I'm
can
leading you right into it.
Hit you with it.
He hit me.
In the final seconds of the divisional round, Matt Stafford led the 43rd game-winning drive of his career. He now has the most game-winning drives, including the playoffs, since entering the NFL in 2009.
Since entering the NFL, so I wonder what he's at all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd
You don't have
be
to.
crazy.
I mean, you don't have to pull it up, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cooper Kupp, excuse me, now has 12 games this season with 100-plus receiving yards, tying Hall of Famer Michael Irving for the most such games in a single season, including playoffs in NFL history.
Boom.
Matt Stafford is only the second player in NFL history to have multiple games with 200-plus pass yards, 2+ touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown in a single postseason. The other one was Patrick Mahomes in 2019. Let's see. There was one more. The Rams win. It was the third road victory this weekend, matching 1971 and 2008 for the most road wins in the divisional round of the playoffs since 1970. There has never been a season in which all 4 road teams in this round advanced to the conference championship games.
So we'll see.
So we will see.
Bills are playing right now.
Waiting
so.
on the Bills.
Yeah.
It's down to 2 minutes. My thing is acting a little weird. I think the Bills still have the ball. It is 4th and 13, though.
Okay.
Well, they need a touchdown, so that means they got to kick it and be down by 2.
They have all 3 timeouts, so they could. They could do that. But the way they've been playing this year, they've been doing this all year, right? Where they're gonna do something silly and go for it. I'm sure.
Yep,
right here.
They probably will, and they shouldn't. They should kick it.
They should kick it and then
Kick it away.
Give yourself the hope, right?
Yep, absolutely.
They both have all 3 timeouts.
Yep.
Just so we're clear. Yep.
Absolutely. Tom Brady also had a wonderful QBR of 13.9.
Yikes.
So
He got beat up. So
He did get beat up.
when we see him lose in the playoffs or the Super Bowl,
that's what
what's
happens.
the biggest reason he loses?
That's exactly
Why?
because they get power rushed, and the defensive line is the one
Gets
that is able to do
Pressure
it too.
with 4.
Pressure
that
with
way,
4.
That way you
yes.
can drop the rest of those
Yep.
guys into coverage.
Exactly. That's why the Giants beat
And
him
that's exactly
twice.
what happened with Aaron
Yep.
Donald back up in there. There's
Yep.
a reason why they brought Von Miller in because he had a big time
strip sack,
It was
yeah.
a strip sack.
Yep.
Yep. So
No,
But-
it's a big deal. What's crazy about watching Tom Brady play, though, right? So they're down. So you said it was 27-3.
ooh, Bills just went ahead, gentlemen.
Oh,
They
shit.
Passing touchdown
Touchdown.
to Gabriel Davis.
What? He's got
Oh.
3.
He has 3 touchdowns,
Oh,
142
my gosh.
touchdowns,
Oh,
baby,
my
or 142
Any-
yards.
Anybody play him in the
No,
fantasy? Of
you're
course
not
not.
picking the third wide receiver, brother.
Who
You're
is
picking
that?
the
Yeah,
third
no
wide receiver.
shit.
I don't even care. Hell
That's
yes.
awesome, though.
So there's 154 left in
And the
this
score
game.
is
Well,
what?
27 without the extra point yet. 27-26.
Oh,
fuck.
no.
So they go for 2, right? They gotta
have
go for
to.
2
They have
right
to.
here.
You have
For
to.
once,
For
they
2.
actually have
They
to.
have
Yep.
to, yeah.
Yep. You have to go for
Josh
2.
Allen's got it right. He's got
Josh
it.
Allen's
he'll
got-
run
this
it.
is
Gotta
it.
run
That
it.
defense is gonna ball right here. Like we're gonna press. Don't let Tyreek get by you. You're gonna double cover Tyreek. You're gonna get you
Oh,
some.
Singletary's coming into play. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
No, this is gonna be 2-point pass converted. 29-26.
Let's
Oh, my
go.
God. We're going to have an overtime game. Is what's
We're gonna have an
happen.
OT game. This is exactly.
Wow.
This is one of the best all around professional football playoff weekends I've ever seen. Like
Yes.
every
Yes.
game.
Every game has been amazing.
Has been
game.
amazing, and they've done everything. Every game's within 3 points, or definitely a score. I mean, up to this game right here,
Yep.
which we don't know the end of, they're all on 3 points. So this is big.
Let's go.
Let's go. I want some somber Chiefs fans when I go to work.
You know it.
But what I was saying was the whole Tom Brady thing, right? At the beginning of the game, so it was about halfway through the first quarter, they were talking about his time of release, right? It'd be like 2.8 seconds from the snap. So fast because you have to against Aaron Donald, right? And Von Miller and that whole line.
Yep.
But it didn't matter. He was getting dinged up. Even if he didn't get a sack, he was getting hit. He was getting touched. He was getting slung to the ground, all that. And ultimately, that's the biggest reason they lost the game. There was random turnovers at the end that made it interesting.
Yeah.
And then, so 27-3, when you started watching it like late in the third, it just seemed like, oh, all of a sudden they're down 14. No big deal. They can still get this. Oh, they're only down 7. They can get this. When you watch Tom Brady, it's just different. You feel different about what's going on,
Yeah.
right? Like, you're like, oh,
You
yeah,
feel
that
like
makes
there's-
sense.
They feel like there could be a shot, and there's always
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
happens that he's still in the game, even when you're down by 24, and
Yeah.
a bunch of
Right.
stuff just kind of starts going his way. Looks like that you gotta have a shot, and that's what happened in this to me. When I was listening to it. Fun little thing here. Sonny Michel had 1 carry. Cam Akers, who just came back from an Achilles, had 24 carries.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
an Achilles too. That's what's
nuts.
amazing to me. We're not even talking about an
Yes.
ACL here. We're talking about
Yeah.
Achilles, which is it
Right.
has ruined people's careers because they never bounced back. You know,
Right,
they didn't have
yeah.
the same step.
Stud.
You know, so either
That's
way,
awesome.
Matthew Stafford has a shot to take his this game is going to get played. I do believe it's at SoFi, right?
Yeah, it will be.
Yep.
So
He
they
has a
could
chance to go to the Super Bowl
No.
and play
in
SoFi.
SoFi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game will be very interesting. They know each other way too well, so it's going to be probably an ugly slugfest.
Oh, yeah.
Debo is a big deal.
That
Whatever
is-
happens
that
with
is
him and
huge.
Kittle at the end of that, like
You
whatever
don't-
happens.
You don't want Garoppolo to have to bring you back.
Right.
Right? That isn't a comfortable position if you're a Niners
That's
fan.
another guy you don't want to throw you back
You
into
want,
a game.
you want your system to work well throughout the game, and
One of the big, so the last touchdown Debo had against Dallas, that kind of iced the game. Debo literally went up to Shanahan. He's like, all right, let's fucking go. And he's like, all right, I'm giving you the ball. So, and Debo knew, he's feeling it, and he got the touchdown. He's so critical to that team that if he's limited in any way, I don't feel as good about the Niners as I do,
Yep.
Like, it's tough. But
100%.
yeah, it's going to be a good game, but it could potentially end up in SoFi, and Matt Stafford could get his first Super Bowl, but
Yeah. Yep. That'd be awesome.
It would be awesome. And
My
finally,
early
we're going to
season
see
pick.
we're going to see something possibly different if Kansas City if they end up losing this game. We're going to see a difference in a while, like in quite a while. Yes, the Niners have a history or whatever, but you haven't seen it really like an opportunity to win. We'll see what happens there, and then if they go to the Super Bowl. But it excites me just seeing that it's Cincinnati, possibly the Bills. We'll see, and then the Rams. That's awesome.
Definitely.
big time. Let's go. Is that all you got, Jimmer?
Yes, sir.
All righty, let's go with It Makes Sense, Rio.
Yeah, let's not skip over this one. Right,
we,
Jim?
we didn't skip over it. We
Yeah, I hope
came
you
back.
listened to that
brought
episode
it
all
back.
the way through. I know our guy, Danny G, did not. He thought we missed it completely.
He's like, no, I swear. He's like, oh yeah. He kind of paused. He kind of stopped or paused, and yeah.
So I've got to make sense. I was working out this job site, and there was some houses being built kind of far, probably 200 yards away. And the space I was working on was empty, and we were making a lift station, which is a sewer well for all the houses that were going to get built up. Sewer thing had pretty much been built, the whole lift station except for the fence, and I was by myself, and I was putting the fence up around the whole place. And I had a generator and everything like that, and was just pretty simple, putting the fence up. And I was like, oh, man, I got to use a bathroom. Well, where the houses were being built, there was a porta potty, and I had to go. So I just unhooked the trailer
No
real
way.
quick. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, 64-yard touchdown.
No way.
64-yard touchdown.
What the heck?
Oh, my God.
Hey,
I'm
it
sorry I
leaves
didn't
enough-
interrupt you,
It
but-
leaves enough time, though, for the
Yeah, it
Bills.
does.
Minute 13.
Minute 13.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Leaves plenty of time
Oh,
for the
my
Bills to come
God,
down.
though. That the one dude I just said you don't let get behind you.
Yeah, no kidding. And they do.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad, man.
So
Just like, what?
I'm building this fence, right? And I was like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I was getting pretty close to getting done. So I was like, well, I'm going to drop the trailer, drive down to the end of the road, because right at the end of the road was a porta potty.
Yep.
And there wasn't any houses. They were like 50 yards from this porta potty. It was kind of out in the middle of the whole place. And so I drove up, got out, and I'm like, all right, take my tool belt off, put it down, walk around, and I swing open the door of this porta potty, and there is a guy sitting in the porta potty, just cranking one out with the whole with the porno magazine, not even his cell phone, with a porno magazine, cranking one out. Dude's pants, he's got like one leg out of his short or his jeans.
Out?
Yeah, out.
One leg out.
Yes, one leg out. I just was like, what the hell? And I slammed the door. Oh, man, it was the weirdest thing. I jumped in my truck. I seen him get out of the porta potty and take off running as I just whipped to go to, I was like, dude, I'm going to the gas station. I'm not going to go take a poop in there.
Oh, my God. If you're going to do First off, if you're going to do that, what do you at least make sure the fucking door is locked?
No,
Right?
No, stop. Go back further. Are you going to do that in a porta potty?
No,
Hold on, go back further. He's not using his phone. He's got a porno magazine.
Oh, my God.
I was like, what the heck? Are you carrying those around on the job site with you?
Back pocket.
Oh, my God.
Craziest thing.
Oh,
What
my
the
I've never
fuck,
seen. I was
Leo?
like, dude, what the hell? And he's like, oh. I slammed the door and was like, I'm out of here.
You can't unsee that.
You can't unsee that. And
Oh, my God.
oh my God.
His thought. There's no way he could even tell that story either.
No, he's not
Right?
telling anybody.
No, he ain't telling nobody. It isn't like you sliding underneath the stalls like shit and you have your eye-to-eye thing. This is
Right.
literally one of the things you can't even tell one of your boys. Like, I was cranking one out on the job
Right.
site. In a shitter?
in a porta
crapper?
potty. In a horrible smelling porta potty, too. I tell you, like, I could smell this thing.
Oh, man, you filthy
Right.
girl.
I could smell this thing as I hopped out of the truck. Not good. Not a good sight when I opened up. And words of wisdom, if you got to take care of some personal business like that, stay at home. Do it at home, not in a porta potty. And if you have to do it in a porta potty, please, for the love of God, lock the door.
Lock the door.
Lock the door.
They make the little turn handle locks for a reason. I'm starting to think he wanted to get caught. I don't know. It was
do
a
you-
little
Little part of
thing.
his.
Everything about this is wrong.
Everything, every part.
He's got one leg out of his shorts.
Yeah, he's getting comfortable.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
dude.
Does he have a fucking
He's going
leg up
old
on the
school
toilet
way with
paper?
the damn
Right.
magazine.
He's got a magazine, old
Probably his-
school. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Get out of here.
And it was like I said, it was like 50 yards to a set of houses were being built. So he had to travel to come do this thing he was doing.
This thing
God.
he was doing.
Yeah,
this
this
thing.
thing he was doing.
Jesus.
He was just in there getting it.
Damn. Yeah, listen,
Get
if
outta
you've
here.
got shit you got to take care of, it's all good. We don't want to see it.
We don't want to see it.
Like, come on. In a porta potty?
In a porta potty. Nasty.
Jesus.
Nasty
Oh,
motherfucker.
that is nasty.
So the Chiefs are up 33-29 with 57 seconds left.
Big time
go.
pass to Gabriel Davis again. 28 yards are over the 50 at least.
Yep, they're over the 50.
Let's go.
They need a
Bill.
tutty.
They need a
It's tutty or
though.
bust.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
touchdown.
Yep.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
By the way, that was a short pass to Tyreek, and he busted through for 67
Oh,
yards.
my gosh.
Yeah. So, holy cow. This
Just
is
slingshot it
game
out,
of the
I'm sure.
week right here. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
Which says a lot.
Yeah.
If this is the game of the week,
damn
it's a
good
damn
games.
good game.
all,
is.
all,
Yeah.
all around.
So, Buffalo timeout, number one. All right, we ready to
Boom.
wrap her up?
Yeah, we're about to wrap her up, boys. Well, hey, Rio, again, happy birthday, man.
Appreciate it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Man.
Appreciate it.
29's a big deal.
Yep. You know
You're
it.
not quite 30. You're not quite in your 30s. So,
You know it.
yeah, that's good. You know what? 10
That-
high.
that sounds like a
10 high
birthday
on the
shot.
house. 10 high on the house.
10 high on the house. 10
I
high
just
on the
took a
house.
shot before we went.
No.
What the hell?
We all do it on the
Oh.
house. Okay, I'll pay
Oh.
for it. I got
Okay,
it.
you'll pay for it?
Yeah.
Pay for it.
What a guy.
Yeah, hand me that bottle.
Jeez. What the hell, Jimmer? Oh, so you're taking both?
I'm tapping it off.
There you go. Pass it over. 10 high on the house for Rio's birthday. It's a big deal, man.
Whiskey brought to you by Thug Life Cattle Company.
Thug Life Cattle Company, shout out.
There, Mr. Lucas.
By the way,
Reason.
if
Yes.
you have never tried 10 high, don't. So
Don't.
Yeah,
It's-
don't do
it's
it.
rough. It's
Yeah,
a rough time.
it's-
It doesn't matter if it's cold or warm.
we've been spoiled. I've been sipping on the peach. On fucking ice here.
Yeah, Sir Winston,
It's delicious.
baby.
Yeah, Sir Winston, SMB. But hey, happy birthday, Rio.
Happy
Appreciate
birthday.
Love you,
you.
bro.
Here we go.
That peach didn't help.
Oh my God.
Oh, so bad.
So bad.
So
Oh, I can't believe they're still in business.
I can.
who?
There's people that would pay for
It was
that. right?
Beauchart, right before I left.
It is like a $15 bottle. I did see that.
For that-
No, I think he paid 15 for both.
No, it was 15 at the store. I went and picked up
That's
another
still-
bottle.
that's
It
cheap.
was
That's too cheap.
$14.99 for that thing.
No.
Which store did you go to? Because he said he
Hy-Vee.
got it discounted.
Hy-Vee.
He got that and that for like less than $20.
Yeah.
I got that at Hy-Vee. It was $14.99.
Yeah, so
Saturday
that
morning.
peach, that
You-
peach is better. So that peach must have
Yeah.
been 7.
Yeah.
And I say better, but be careful, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
Penalty in Kansas City, baby. It is down to the inside the 20, the 19.
Hey, here's what we need. Diggs, this is your time.
This is it. This is your
your
corner
time,
out,
baby.
baby, right?
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's watch this off the air.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks everybody for listening. Podcast is available. Jimmer, I can't remember where, man.
Literally everywhere, Mr. Danny G.
Everywhere.
Everywhere,
We are
okay.
talking Spotify, Apple, Facebook, YouTube,
YouTube,
and
what's
anywhere
up?
in between, honestly. Working on some other ones too, but basically everywhere they can possibly listen to them.
Yeah.
Touchdown!
Oh,
Let's go.
Gabriel Davis!
Yes,
Shut the fuck up!
let's
Gabriel
go.
Davis, 13 seconds left!
Oh my God,
Yes.
game's over.
Yes.
Game's
Game's
over.
over.
Yes.
Game is over.
That's
Bills.
awesome.
13.
Bills
Unless some magic happens, Chiefs are done.
Gabriel
Bills are about to
Davis with
win.
his 4th touchdown, dude.
That's awesome.
201 yards.
Here's the deal.
Crazy.
Bills are going to be up 3 after this field goal. Unless,
Go for 2.
do you think so?
Go for 2.
Ooh.
13 seconds left. Go for 2 right here.
And just kill him.
Oh, they did. I think they must have just went for the one. They went
Okay.
extra point.
Okay.
So regardless,
That's
I would
where I
have
was
went for
going.
two.
That's where I was going. So
Make them get the touchdown.
they're up by 3. So one magic pass happens, and you can get a field goal.
Not
right?
happening.
All right. Regardless, guys, let's close this
Yeah,
bad
let's
boy.
close her
This
out.
is a good game. Bills and Chiefs right now. This has been a hell of a week for NFL
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yes, it has been.
Podcast is available everywhere, as Jimmer said, and it all goes down.
In the DMs. Hit
Let's
us up.
go, baby.
We have gear for sale. Hit us up.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we don't talk enough about that, right? Our wives are putting in a lot of work
They are.
on getting these shirts and everything created for you guys.
Yeah.
If you want a shirt, if you want maybe a sticker for your car or something like that to help represent, let us know.
Yeah.
It's all out there. We're not price gouging or anything like that. It's not super expensive. Hit us up. We'd love to see some more 3 gig stuff out there.
Absolutely.
And just let us know. So, hey, for tonight, we got a game to finish watching. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
No hindsight discussions. I've been writing, I love it.